What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Forte Podcast. I'm your co-host, Domenick Epps.
And I'm your host, Randall Monfiston.
And we are here to dive into your lane of greatness to discover what comes easy for you that may not be easy for all others.
Everyone's a genius from the 9-to-5 employee to the Fortune 500 billionaire. We're here to highlight attributes through dialogue and interviews with what?
Amazing guests.
Amazing
Yeah,
guests.
man. But I got one question for you.
What's that, bro?
What's your forte? Hey, man.
Let's go.
Hey, man.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for?
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? Ain't this what they've been waiting
Yes,
for?
sir.
Ready?
All right. So we're back with another fire episode, you all. And first of all, bro, how was your day, man?
It was good. It was good, man. Hey, I gotta say, man, hard work is off. And sometimes when you're in the grind and grit of trying to build and get systems in place for your business, you like, when is the light at the end of the tunnel? And I must say, these past couple of days, I'm really feeling the fruits of my labor. I've been able to kind of relax and not be as deep in the weeds and the stress is gonna come, but I'm really feeling like the systems I put in place are kind of allowing it to be on autopilot instead of me constantly trying to spin the place to make everything work in my benefit or work in the company's benefit. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm happy right now. So that's all I gotta say.
Hold on, bro. You said systems. Ooh, my boy got some SOPs
Yeah,
in
yeah.
place. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go.
man.
Hey, man, you've
When
been
you
doing
put
a lot
that
of
black and white, that pen and paper.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You've been doing a lot of traveling, right? I'm seeing you like in all these different countries, man, and you done stepped your content game up by far. By far, you have stepped it up. So if you could, man, talk about that a little bit, man, because you got me like, listen, man, I can't wait to get out the country and get this passport stamped so I can get some content. So talk about that. Some of the places you went to in the last month or so, because you've been out there in them streets, brother. You've been outside for a minute. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So I went to in the past month. I went to around my birthday. Went to Singapore and Bali. Like did a twofer. Lay in Singapore for like a day or so. Then went to Bali for about a week, and then came back. And then about 3 weeks after that, my mom had her birthday. She wanted to celebrate out the country, so went out there to support her for her birthday, which is ironically around the same time as my brother's birthday. So it was personal / family vacation that you've seen, and I can't say that it's all me. Like I'm still not the content creator as far as editing all of that. I got to shout out Buzz marketing. I got to shout out the videographer that was in Bali. If you're in Bali, it is what they say. Everything is real cheap. So I had that whole grand mansion videography experience for the real low. So it was good content for not a big price.
That's what's up, man. Speaking of good content, today we have a very special guest on the show today. And let me just say, is Black. We're talking about Black goods and services. And we have the owner of Black goods and services, Gloryah Allen, in the house. Put your hands together, Forteers, as we welcome Gloryah Allen to the Forte Podcast.
Come on.
Hey, Gloryah, how are you?
Hey guys, how you doing today? I'm good.
All right. So if you
Awesome.
could let us know a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what's your forte?
Yes. Everyone, my name's Gloria. I am a web designer by trade here in the DMV. And on the side, I am running this social media and initiative called Black Goods and Services, where I highlight Black-owned businesses across the world on my social media, get to buy from them. And I'm currently working on putting together a marketplace of all Black-owned products.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Have you heard?
Let's go.
So is this going to be like the digital version of the Green Book? You know how back in the Jim Crow days, you had the Green Book to tell places that African Americans stay at. Is this something similar to that, but in the digital age? So these are all the African American Black owned businesses. Is that what you're shooting for?
A part of it can be kind of like a green book where you can go to different locations. So if it's more, say, like restaurants or places that already have a brick and mortar, yes, would love to highlight their locations. But I also really want it to be like a Black Amazon, meaning I can buy all the different Black-owned products that I want in one place.
Oh wow, I like that.
Mm.
So we're going to get into that story, right? We're going to get into Black goods and services, the Black Amazon, right? We definitely want to know more about your story, the Black Digital Wall Street. There we go. That's what we're gonna call the Black Digital Wall Street, right? But Gloria, we want to
There we
know about
go.
who you are, right? You as a person. We want to get into your story. So if you don't mind, can you share with the Forteers out there? Tell us a little bit about where you're from, right? And how was your upbringing?
Sure. Yeah, I am Gloria. I'm actually from the DMV area, born and raised. I went to school in Virginia. I majored in economics and art, and eventually I got my graduate degree at VCU in Richmond, Virginia, in UX design. So that's what I do by trade. I like designing for physical experiences, web design, coding, 3D printing, all that kind of stuff. So in my career so far, I've worked in a bunch of different industries doing UX design. I've worked in an architect firm. I've worked in advertising. I've now done consulting. And for me personally, I always just had a passion for Black owned business. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. And it's just been a big part of my upbringing, especially here in the DMV. It's like no other, where you get to see so many diverse business owners. And I also like to travel. So whenever I go to different places, I actively try to seek out Black owned businesses and even the everyday products that I use. I try to see if I can find Black owned products, and a lot of the time they're better. So I've kind of been the person in my friend group, like I'm the one who knows about this might be Black owned or this is Black owned over here. So to put all of that together, I was like, let me actually make this social media. Like, let's actually talk about it. Let's record it. Let's have a way to share all of these other brands that I know about in one place for everybody.
Now, I
Mm.
like how you did that too. You work your way up here very fast, right? You gave us just a little tidbit about your upbringing, and then you work your way back up to, and we're gonna get here. I promise you. We're gonna come right back to Black goods and services. But
Perfect.
growing up in the DMV area, talk to us about that. How was
Mhm.
that for you growing up before you even made the decision? To you said VCU. Is that where you went to? Was it?
I went to UVA undergrad and then I went
Okay.
to VCU for grad school.
Gotcha. Okay, so before we even get to that, growing up in the DMV area, household size, large family, small family, and talk to us about that.
Yeah, I grew up in Woodbridge. I come from a big family. I have two other brothers, and I had a bunch of aunts and uncles and just extended family and friends. Growing up in the DMV is really, really great because of how diverse it was. I think it was more of a culture shock for me leaving of how not diverse it is for other people. But I mean, friend group growing up, everybody was represented, every culture. I absolutely loved it. The food is always great. Uh, the people are always great. So it was honestly a great experience growing up here, and I treasure it truly.
So what I'm trying to hear from a childhood perspective, right? Were you as
Yeah.
a child, did your parents always, not say always, but was that instilled? I know some, like I have friends who of course are parents now, and they try to instill that into their kids now. Always support the Black owned business before you go to another business to give your money. Was that something that was embedded in your mind from a young age through your parents or aunts, cousins, or somebody of a the older generation?
I think it was subconsciously. Honestly, both of my parents were entrepreneurs. My parents owned their own real estate agency when I was in elementary through middle school and high school. So my first job growing up was working at their real estate agency and doing like looking at MLS sheets and filing things and doing computer design work for them, all that kind of stuff. So that was just for my parents, and then even like my cousins. My cousin, she shout out to her. Her company is called Blessings Beyond Measure down in North Carolina, but she is like extremely crafty. She can make anything under the sun, whether it be bags, accessories. She did hair. She was making like little tchotchkes, things like that. So I grew up with her, and I got to see firsthand um, the things that she used to do between my parents. A lot of my family is military as well, so just very, very hardworking people all around.
That's awesome. So here's my question. What was your epiphany moment, right? Because you talked about how you went to UVA for your undergrad, but then you
Hmm.
went to a HBCU following your undergrad. So what was the epiphany moment that had you say, aha, we do good business as African Americans, and it's time for us to get the exposure that we deserve?
For sure. And funny enough, VCU is not an HBCU, but it definitely feels like one, and in a
It's
good
not?
way.
Well,
Um,
right. Gotcha.
it feels like one in a good way.
Yeah.
But for the epiphany moment really didn't come until 2020 for me. I, again, obviously, I'm always looking for Black-owned businesses, but it wasn't until 2020. I was in New York. I was working at an architecture firm, and a lot of stuff happened with like George Floyd, a lot of different things, where I was just like, you know what, I'm being up first, no matter in the DMV, I feel like we already do that, but DMV is a bubble. And so when you're exposed to everyone else, you realize like, okay, yeah, we're actually not all on the same page. So not to say I'm the right word is giving up on anyone else, but I'm putting me first. I got to put me first. And since then, I was like, anything that I do, my mission was like to uplift Black people. I'm a Black woman. Um, I represent that community that I'm looking to like uplift. So I really have to do it for me and the people behind me. So that was really the epiphany moment for myself was no one else is going to look at you the way your people are. Not saying anyone else is bad or anything like that, but um, if I want to see something in the world for my people, I have to step up and do it.
Okay. Got it. So we at the epiphany moment, you want to show up for the Black community and be able to put them on a pedestal for the world to see in your way, right? To support that. I'm assuming there were different iterations of how you got to where you are now in the Black Amazon. Are you able to share some of the first thoughts or drafts of a business plan that you created on this is how I'm going to support that vision? Or was this your first vision, the Black Amazon, and you just been building little by little that business?
Yeah, I think funny enough, I think the first visions of it of just representing Black people was actually in undergrad. I was an art major, and I specialized concentrated in like new media, so like digital art, things like that. So I really did more like documentary type things, just narrating the Black experience and documenting that in home videos. So that was kind of like the first spot. And then when it came to 2020 and that epiphany, I kind of took that experience I had before with making this like digital art that highlights Black people. I was like, okay, let me put this on social media. I'm not the best at social media, but I was like, let me showcase these different products. Let me showcase these uh, this was 2020, so it was a big election year as well. So here are some political leaders in different states that are running this year, things like that. So that was kind of my first inkling. I didn't do videos, I didn't do any kind of interviews. I was just like, here are these businesses. Um, get to know them and get to know the people.
Got you.
Got it.
So
Okay.
what is interesting is in 2020, me and my partners, my wife and I, we started a cafe, okay, and it was called Wall
Oh
Street
wow.
Cafe, and this was in Suffolk, Virginia, right? And so we had this famous mural on the wall. that had, and you know, it was a diverse mural, right? Show, but it started from Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then it gave a timeline, right? It gave a timeline of the various Black Wall Streets, timelines of different entrepreneurs, right? And when I did my research prior to us opening up this cafe, I was very intrigued by how back then we actually worked well together, right? Like you didn't find many people trying to go solo entrepreneurs. Everything was partnerships and collaborations, right? What have you found in your discovery of all of these businesses that you are supporting and you are giving exposure to? Are you seeing that most of these businesses are solopreneurs, or are you seeing where they're actually partnerships, where it's multiple people that have come together to form those businesses?
You know, it's definitely a combination, but I will say overall, I think the most part is people, uh, it's one person doing everything. Um, I don't know if that's something, a hole that we have to fill in our community. Maybe something's been lost since the pandemic, but a lot of the time it's a employee of one. They're doing the social media, they're doing the packaging, they're doing whichever. However, I will say when they do start to scale, they do lean on their community, whether it be their family, friends, someone that was on that saw their social media and they wanted to support. So I think it really does come in when they do start to scale. But for the most part, if you're just beginning, it might just be you. I'm a prime example. I'm just it's just me doing the social media. I've now started to over the past couple months reach out to people and just get their advice. People are really good at social media, or just doing more networking. Got in touch with you guys as well. So it's definitely a process.
All right, let's. I know you want to get to this, right? Because you kind of fast forward. Dom had to bring you back a little bit. So we're at the Black Amazon, right? So how long have you been? How long ago did you have that vision, that epiphany? We had the epiphany of helping the Black community, but when did the Black Amazon digital marketing space come to mind? Is there other people in a random conversation you would just brainstorm and the light came on? Kind of talk to us on how that came about, and then the steps you've taken from that moment now.
Yeah, so the vision came back in 2020, but it really wasn't until the beginning of this year where I was like, we need to fire rocket this thing. We need to figure out a way to do it immediately. So at the beginning of this year, I was like, okay, I have this following. I have all these people that I follow that are Black owned businesses. I was kind of using that as a director. It's like you can look through the people that I follow on Instagram and use that to find other businesses. But I really wanted to find a way to make it interactive. So I was initially like trying to figure out how to like export it to a CSV and make it into an app of some sorts. But then, if I actually made it into like a web template, and so now I have a website where you can search all of these different businesses and you can filter, you can search. It has their locations, all these different categories that you can filter it by. I did that within like a week and a half. Spent, I think, like 4 or 5, 6 nights trying out different ways to make like an online app or thing, or an online website where you can have 5,000 listings or whatever, and finally figured it out and got it done. So that was the first, like, okay, I finally have some sort of product that I can share with people. And that's where I dusted off my social media that I had, blew off the cobwebs, and posted a um, couple of like carousel and images saying like I'm back. I'm trying to get this rolling, and ever since then, I've been posting way more consistently, excuse me, and I've gotten to interview some amazing people, and we're now in this spot now, as in just where I'm like, okay, I want to make this an in-person real experience.
Now
So for these Black
that's good.
businesses are going to like I've seen people go do like not interviews, like taste testings. They'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm going to this restaurant or
Mhm.
this place," and then they kind of show you. Are you doing that? Like whether it's a clothing store, a food store, a furniture store, are you going in there and kind of advertising on behalf of each of these businesses on your page? Is that's how it's going?
Not yet. Right now, it's mostly been me going to different places that in the DMV or wherever I am. If it's like a restaurant, I go to it, I eat there, I'll do a review or anything like that. Um, I'm also doing just more like listicles. It's like, hey, one that I just posted today is like, hey, here's 10 water brands that are all Black owned, and some of them might be in different locations. So I just list those out, grab it. Here's like some um I did one for the Cowboy Carter tour. It was like, here's like 10 brands that do cowboy apparel. So I've been doing a lot of different listicles. And then if I do go into an actual like brick and mortar store, I'll do a video there. And I've also been doing interviews. So luckily, unfortunately, I got the opportunity to go to Japan earlier this year. So I got to interview this one guy. He's a Caribbean farmer that ended up in Japan like in the early 2000s. And I got to do like a 30-minute interview with him just about his story, how he got to Japan, what it's like to be a farmer and a grape farmer in Japan. So I have that revved up. I'm going to do a video for that. So things like that for at the time being.
A black
Got
farmer
it.
in Japan.
Yeah,
Come on, y'all.
his name is Frank.
Let's
He's
give it up
amazing.
for. So this is great because you know you are giving individuals the exposure for their business, right? But how are you
Mhm.
finding or how are you choosing? Like, okay, hey, I want to highlight this black entrepreneur or this business that provides these goods, these services. Like, what are you taking into account that's making you make the decision on this is who I want to highlight today?
That's a good question. I try to do it either by what I'm doing in my everyday life. Like if again to Japan, I was like, all right, let's find Black people in Japan, Black owned businesses in Japan. Did it that way. And then I also, sorry, this one thing, or this notifications. Um, but then I also am trying to do it more by kind of the theme, whatever the like uh summertime. So I'm trying to find like either outdoor venues. We had the Beyonce Cutter tour here in DC, so I focused my social media around that. Just had the DC City Open, and we had two Black athletes that were there, so I posted them. And then now that it's August, August is Black Business, so I'm trying to highlight different categories of businesses um, with my posts. So I just did one for water, and I'm going to do a couple more for like sports apparel, maybe some like back to school type things. So I try to do it based off of what's happening within that month.
Well, you got the podcast, the number one podcast, black owned podcast with the Forte Podcast, by the way. So let me just make sure, you find a way to let us know what you need from us. We got you for that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So talk to us about what are your plans in scaling and bringing more exposure to black goods and services.
Absolutely. So I have been currently talking to a lot of um, like I hate even to say the word influencers, but like notable young Black folks in the area, whether they're hosting events, whether they have marketplaces as well that they're showcasing. I really want to connect with them. I also am trying to, I'm actively reaching out to Black owned businesses and seeing if I can become a vendor or retailer of sorts for them. And then once I'm able to get that communication, it's like, okay, I have 20 businesses that have products that are willing to have me be a retailer for them, and then create the marketplace that way. As I'm doing that networking,
Mm.
I'm still highlighting different Black owned businesses that I know about that are in the DMV area. If I travel somewhere, I'm actively looking for a Black owned business that is there to go to, do a video, eat there, circulate the Black dollar. And yeah, hopefully
That's
at
good.
the, I don't even say the end of this, but all accumulating to hopefully having like a full marketplace where we can have black products there, or if it's more, if it's not like a brick and mortar, it's there consistently. If it's like something that happens like every weekend or every third weekend, something like that. Almost like a farmer's market, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm hearing two things here. I'm hearing the black Amazon here instead of yellow pages, you making the black pages, right? So it should be a directory
Ooh,
that
Yeah,
I'm
I
hearing
like
exactly.
that. I like
on
that.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're able
Black
to
pages.
ideally anywhere in the country, you're able to say, hey, this is not only the brick and mortar where you could physically go, but you also, if you're not able to get there physically, able to go there online and order whatever they're selling. So that's good. That's good.
So, Gloria, I have a
Exactly.
question for you, right? Because
Sure.
black-owned businesses normally during the time Black History Month, right, is or Juneteenth is where you see a mass support of black businesses, right? But following that, you also see the um, people that make comments about, hey, I went to support this black business and I had my waiting time was this long, or you know, just comments. And I'm going to say
Hmm.
some negative and then some just, I guess we can just call it, criticism, whether good or bad, however you want to take it, right? What do you have to say about that? Because it happens. And do you think as consumers, we should extend more grace when we are supporting black owned businesses? Or should we complain as much as we do our counterparts?
That is a really good question, but also just point that comes up is, I will say one thing. Yes, I think black businesses are sometimes held to a higher standard than other businesses. It's like if they mess up one time, I'm never coming here again. Um, while also, as you mentioned, it's like, sometimes just because it's black owned doesn't mean I can't express that I had a bad experience there. So it's a double-edged sword. I think it definitely needs to be addressed, but I think what we can do is give people education and give people the resources they need to do better. Like, yes, make the complaint, say like, hey, I didn't have a good experience. We should do it this way. But also let's give them the resources to make it better,
Mm,
you
I like
know?
that. Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, yeah, it was bad. What can I do now? What can we do to make this better? So I think that's the part that's missing. The part where it's like, yeah, this is what you need to improve it. Um, how do we get there? I actually did a podcast earlier this year. Even if, and again, I'm not a brick and mortar business owner, but I did a podcast earlier this year with Stack Cato, and we had talked about just like free or low cost resources that business owners can utilize. Like I really talked up it's on his podcast Beyond Normal Media. I was like, I love Canva. I even though I have a design degree, I have an art degree, I love Canva. It's low cost. I can get 90% of my stuff done. We have CapCut, we got TikTok, we have all these. So that's more from like the design aspect. But when it comes to say the in-person things, um, let's find resources for them. Let's mentors
Ooh.
that have been in business maybe
Ooh.
longer, regardless
Yeah.
if they're black or white or whichever, that know how to solve for these things and give them a chance to like make it up, I guess, for you.
I
That's
love
all
that.
I
Yeah.
wish for people
I
is
love
give
that.
them the chance to do better.
Yep. I love
So
that.
what I'm hearing is that what I think I heard you say is right to get mentorship, but it doesn't mean it has to be another black person that's the mentor, right? I think oftentimes when we're in industry, we try to just stay in our own bubble. Sometimes even the best, the most elite, like even your Jay-Z, Beyonce's have went to other performers outside of the R&B and hip hop community to go replicate some
Mm-hmm.
of those things and bring it back to our community. So what I again, hopefully I'm paraphrasing what you said correctly. That's why I heard. Maybe I'm totally
Yeah.
mishearing what you said. sometimes you got to go out of your own community because you only know what you know. So maybe you got to go outside of
Right.
your city, outside of your state, outside of your countries. If you're doing restaurants, maybe you need to go see what another restaurant somewhere else in a whole different country is doing, and then bring it back, because then it'll be new to your community, and because it's new, that sets you
Exactly.
apart from the others that's in your community. So yeah,
Exactly.
seek mentorship, seek guidance. Yeah.
I love it. Exposure, exposure, exposure.
Yep.
So, Glory, talk to us, because we like to end our podcast talking about goals, right? So, talk to us about what is your 1 to 5 year goal and where you're looking to take your business.
1 to 5 year goal. I don't know if I have a 5 year goal yet, but I do have a 1 year goal. I want to have at least 20 to 50 brands that I can build a marketplace around. And even if it's just doing it online, I would love to have a marketplace where we are circulating the Black dollar with a Black online marketplace. And then I would love to have like in-person events where people can purchase these different products, or whether it be like at a restaurant or cafe or anything like that, that's also owned. That is like my upfront main goal right now. I'm looking like
Ooh.
not short term, but I'm looking at something that is very attainable for me in the near future.
So
5
that
years,
so that
who
sounds
knows?
like
But I know
that
what I want
sounds
to have
like
in a year.
that sounds like the Forte Experience 2026 pop-up shop version, right? Like, before we have the all white, we have a sponsored by Black Goods and Services pop-up shop, and all these vendors get to showcase their goods and their services. I like that.
I
Exactly. You
like that.
thinking in the
I
right
like that.
path.
I like that. Okay, we're going to talk. We're definitely going to talk about that. Well, if you can provide your contact information, and if people want to get in contact with you, maybe have you on their podcast, or where they can go to get a list that you have of these Black goods and services, how can they get in contact with you?
Absolutely. Every on my Instagram page, you can go to on Instagram at Black Goods and Services, all spelled out. On Instagram, it has my email address. If you want to do any interviews or would love to be part of this like marketplace, and then on that same Instagram, the link is to the directory. It has over 5,000 Black-owned businesses in the U.S. and abroad, that you can filter through all of that on that website.
Wow. 5,001, because the Forte Podcast, 5,002, Gift Transport, 5,003, Top Producers Realty Group. And we can just keep going and on and on and on, because we got some businesses for you for sure that needs to be added to that list.
So when you say this database, you paid for the database that had a list of all, or I guess, how did you create it, right? Like, and maybe I'm not understanding by you saying the database. Is it your database that you created, or you found it in a different database and you imported it and say, okay, I'm gonna filter out everything that they have in their database just to the Black-owned businesses, extract that, and then put it into my database that I'm gonna have for my platform on the Black Amazon?
No, it's the first one. So I just had a spreadsheet of my own
Talk
where
that
I was
talk,
listing
Gloria.
different
She said it's
businesses,
the first
and I
one,
had their
bro. Talk
Instagram
that
account
talk.
and their websites, and then I just put it onto. If you guys know Notion, have you heard of Notion?
No.
I haven't.
It's You've probably heard of it, but it's like a note-taking app. But basically, you can build databases on their platform, and then you can make them visual. So you can do it as a spreadsheet, or you can have like a gallery view. So that's basically what I have for mine. Is I took a Notion platform and I added all of those businesses that I found.
Oh, so you went and found those businesses, and you went and found 5,000
Yeah.
business individually over the course of 4 years. Man,
Or they like
but
came up
okay, so
like
that's my
because like
question.
my Instagram. Yeah, my algorithm now knows that I love like Black-owned business. Like it just knows. So anytime I saw
Oh,
one, I
so
just
as you
saved
see
it.
something interest, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it.
Listen,
And have you
Yeah.
been in contact already with those businesses in some form or fashion? Like some type of
No, not
exchange
all
of
of them.
email, text, or a good
So that's what I need.
majority of
That's what I'm
them?
doing now. Now that I have that up, and I'm like, I'm doing social media content, but I need to focus on like actually reaching out to people, that's what I'm doing now. Is like, let me just pick like 50, 100 at a time and just reach out to them. So that's what I'm doing currently.
All these
But yeah, the link is
are
here,
all of these
and you can literally see all of them.
all these in the DMV area?
No,
Or
they're all
they're
like, so you can
nationwide?
filter out the different locations. Like if there's one in Connecticut,
Wow.
And it has the contact
it's this
information and
person.
all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk. We got to talk because
Okay. Yeah.
if we got 10% of those people we interviewed on the Forte podcast, would just be dope. It'd just be dope. It'd be dope.
And not just even that, leverage the
Yeah.
database you've already created to bring them
Yeah.
into a networking space altogether. To not only be able to network once together, but then for you to be able to sales pitch, not even sales, but to share your vision of how this is beneficial to everybody. Not only to your vision
Yeah.
as far as the platform, but how it's another stream of income for them. They're able to platform, as well as they tell their customers, hey, if you can't make it in physically, we have this platform we buy from as well, right? Yeah, this, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's kind of dope
Yeah.
because it kind of reminds me a little bit about when Pastor Jamal Bryant doing the Target boycott, right? He was saying, listen, don't shop at Target, but we have this list of, it was thousands of Black-owned businesses that they were saying, hey, listen, go spend your money here, right? And even the Black-owned businesses who has merchandise in Target, they were saying, hey, we have a way for you to be able to purchase directly through them instead of going to Target. So, Glory, we're going to talk. We want to talk for sure because we want to get more on that. Yeah. Glory, we thank you so much for being on the Forte podcast. And we look forward to collaborating with you on bringing more exposure to these Black-owned businesses. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Y'all
much.
give it up to the
Likewise. I
one and
appreciate it,
only
guys.
Gloryah Allen.
Let's go.
Hey, bro, that's dope, man. The Black Amazon.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Fortes, listen up. If you got a business, this is just so simple. If you're trying to start up a business, this young lady's already created the space where you're able to go and get a jump up on finding people or having people find you with ease. So please hit up Gloria, get your information out there, share it with her so she could add you to the list. You could be 5,004 after us. After we put ours up there, you could be 5,005, 6, so on and so forth. But yeah, let's get this information out there. Let's create these partnerships so this way we could circulate the Black dollar, like Gloria said. Let's go.
Let's go. And guess what? We out of here, y'all. This is another fire episode of the Forte Podcast. And listen, we out of here. Great job. Peace.